Many men feel an attraction to the priesthood and then wrestle with the idea of celibacy, of never marrying and having children. But I first discerned a call to be celibate before I heard a call to the priesthood. Karol Wojtyla, the future St. John Paul II, wrote a book called Love and Responsibility. And towards the end, he talks about vocation. And surprisingly, he says that the hardest vocation is the vocation of marriage. Wait, let's get that straight. He says that the hardest vocation is marriage? Why is that? In part, he explains, it's because we expect our spouses to make us happy. But they can't. They don't have that power. One can certainly be happy with their spouse, but a wife cannot make you happy because she's not God. To expect another human being to make you happy is an unrealistic expectation. It's unfair. It places undue pressure on another person. It's not their job. And I think this is a large factor contributing to divorce. We all have a God-sized hole in our hearts, and only God can fill it. We all yearn for and desire an infinite and never-ending happiness, and only God can provide that. For me, the hunger for perfect love and happiness has always been the surest sign of my vocation, that I greatly thirst for an unconditional, infinite love, a divine intimacy that only God can fill and no other human being can satisfy. But this is also the greatest temptation in my vocation as well. I hunger for love. And perhaps I meet a nice woman and think, well, maybe this one can give me the love that I'm looking for. We can become infatuated, fall in love, and it's less actually about the person and more an idealized, perfect woman that only exists in our minds and not in reality. But I realized for myself through dating when I was younger and reflection as well, that everyone falls short of the love that I'm looking for. Only God can give it to me, and I won't settle for anything less. I have many good friends who are married, and this isn't the case for them. It took me a while to understand this, but they experience and grow in God's love largely through and with their spouse. While for me, a spouse would feel like an obstacle, a distraction from what God wants to give me. I feel a fire for Him alone and want to give myself entirely to Him, holding nothing back. I hear Him say to me, "You are mine, you belong to me. You're not to give yourself to anyone else." As the Old Testament prophets tell us, the Lord can be a jealous God, and He wants undivided hearts in His service. Now, I feel happy and blessed to be a priest, to have a heart fully open to Him and ministry to His church. And I experience great peace and joy in that. So do you have a fire for God's love? Maybe you've had some tastes of that, but not the same degree or clarity that I'm describing. That's okay. It may take some time to grow, recognize, or appreciate that. So I encourage you to spend some time reflecting on that. But for the next couple of episodes, we'll talk about how to sort out some competing desires, such as for priesthood and marriage.
I praise you, God, for I am wonderfully made. Search me, Lord, see me, God, lead me along an ancient path you have in store for me.